Just get still, get quiet, relax your shoulders, relax your face, and notice a big, deep breath in. So inhale fully, fill your lungs with as much air as possible, hold there, and then slowly, fully exhale all the way down. Let's take that one more time together. Big, full, deep breath in. And slow, mindful exhale. Completely release that air. We're going to begin every session with a deep breath, an opportunity for you to shift from work mode into well-being mode and just think a little bit about how you're doing today, how you're doing in this moment. Okay, so I'm going to ask you one question and we're going to take a moment to privately reflect on this. Am I feeling tired because I'm busy, or am I tired because I never fully recover? So just sit with that for a moment. Am I feeling tired because I'm busy, or tired because I never fully recover? And take a moment to think about that. Take a breath on that. And then I'm going to invite you into the chat to share one word about how you're feeling. One word to describe how you're feeling today. And if that is difficult for you, we can do a 1 to 5 scale. So 5 is you're feeling really grounded, you're feeling really well coming into this message today. 5, you're feeling a little bit busy, a little bit maybe borderline burnt out. Where are we at? And let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be honest with each other. We're all in this together, but I just want to check in and kind of get a gauge for where we're at today after taking a deep breath. All right. I'm so glad all of you are here. I applaud you for logging on today to focus a little bit more on your well-being. We're seeing words like exhausted and drained, overwhelmed. Okay, we have some 2s and 3s. Recovering from what felt like burnout. Thank you for sharing, everyone. I know this might be new for some of you to even be asked about your well-being here in this video setting, but it's important, and it's how we continue to build on a culture of well-being at Duncan Aviation. So be honest with yourselves and each other. I'm so glad you all are here today. All right. So let's talk about it a little bit, okay? You've already arrived here. Hopefully we can put our to-do list on pause for a little bit longer. We're going to breathe a little bit deeper together, but I do want to talk about the difference between being busy and being burnt out. Something to think about. Being busy is like running a marathon, okay? Being burnt out is running a marathon without proper hydration, proper sleep and recovery, and proper nutrition. Okay, can we kind of think about that for a moment? Busy is like running a marathon. Burnt out is running a marathon, but without the well-being aspect of that. Okay. And so sometimes when we're training for that race, right, we know we might have to drink a little bit more water. That's when we need to pause and drink more water. Okay. Instead of pushing through. The idea that rest is not productive. Okay. That is something that many of us, I feel like, need to unlearn. Okay. The idea that you can't pour from an empty cup is very true. So the more that we do for ourselves, the more that we feel well, the more that we feel like we are taking time to invest in our well-being, pausing to drink water, to stretch, to breathe, to connect with one another. The moment that we stop doing those things, we start to get into that kind of burnout, teetering with burnout a little bit more. Okay, so think about this for a moment. Just kind of close your eyes maybe and breathe. Busy often sounds like I have a lot going on right now. You might be feeling temporarily stressed. You have a full schedule, but you're still making time to recover. This is busy. Your motivation returns after you rest, and you still feel connected to a purpose. So you can very quickly Think about your why. Why are you showing up for work every day? Why are you spending time with the people that you love and enjoy spending time with? That is busy, okay? And that is very normal for us to feel busy. We kind of want to be busy. Busy is what helps us motivate us to keep things going and keep things rolling. All right. We talked last week about how stress is not always bad, right? Stress is actually can be good. It can help us take care of the things on our to-do list. But what we're trying to avoid here is the feeling of burnt out. Okay. And that can feel like emotional exhaustion. That can feel like maybe you're not connecting with others in your life as much. Maybe you're feeling like you're always on and you're struggling to find that time to really rest, digest, and recover. You have difficulty concentrating, perhaps. And this is a big one. You feel guilty for resting. Okay. I think many of us have maybe felt that before. I know that I have in this culture where we're sometimes told to always be on by others who are feeling burnt out, right? It's that trickle down effect. Um, Resting is productive. And if nothing else, I want you to walk away from today's session feeling that, knowing that, and understanding why that is. All right. So coming back to busy, you're training for that marathon, but burnt out, we're not properly prepared to finish the race. Okay. So take another moment to settle into your chair a little bit. And I just want to see if any of you can resonate with some of these signs and signals of burnt out. Now, today's session is meant to be positive. All right. We are going to talk about the difference of busy versus burnout, but the goal is that you walk away feeling like you have some tools to come back to the busy. All right. If we're teetering on that burnout, we're gonna do some things and we're gonna learn about some things that can help us get back. So settling in, which of these signs have you noticed lately? Okay. Trouble shutting your brain off after work, feeling overwhelmed by small tasks, increased irritability, mental fog or forgetfulness, constant multitasking, feeling guilty when resting, exhaustion that time off and weekends don't seem to fix. Okay, so I know many of you are working different hours in different aspects, making Duncan Aviation thrive in the way that it has for many years. But we need to start prioritizing the little things that can pull us back to that busy and away from the burnout. Okay, so this doesn't have to be a long list, but we're going to do a small energy audit. And this is something that you can do anytime, anywhere. All that you need is a place to pause. Okay, so hopefully that is a place where you're at right now. I want you to think about two things. This is your energy audit. The first thing is what gives you energy? Okay, so maybe coming back to that why, coming back to the purpose in the work that you're doing. What gives you energy? And you can think about it, or maybe you could write it down. Think of a few things that give you energy. You can think big picture here, or you can think gives you energy about work, or gives you energy about time with family. And the next thing is reflection on what drains your energy. And it's interesting to maybe notice here as well, because when I was doing this for myself, I was quicker to notice the things that drained my energy versus the things that gave me energy, right? So us as humans, we're wired to think negatively. It's okay. It's the way that we are. Um, some of us, obviously it's a spectrum, right? We're not all the same. We don't all have the same thoughts every day, of course not. Um, but if that was the same for you, if you were quicker to think about the things that drain you versus the things that give you energy, maybe it's just a matter of putting more effort and more thought into the things that do give us energy, right? Okay, so kind of thinking of those things that give you energy, how many of them are micro moments? All right, so we want to simplify this. We don't want things to be 1 hour, 2 hours, every weekend, every night, every day. What is something small that you can do in 60 seconds that gives you energy? Maybe you already have something like that on your list. It could be something like stretching, finishing your water for the day, going outside and taking a deep breath in the sunshine, or standing at your window, a window, and taking a deep breath in the sunshine. The tiny, tiny things that give us a little boost of energy and that help to fight that constant drain, burnout feeling. Okay. We could probably work on this, but reducing, switching our tasks, right? So jumping around to different things. We are all busy. I know you are all busy. You have a lot of things going on. All right. But trying to avoid this and that and that and that halfway done. Okay. We want to start a task, finish a task, and move on. All right. I always wondered how my grandmother kept her house so clean. She said, Mia, one room at a time. I do the kitchen, done. I do the bathroom, done, right? So something to think about. Multitasking does increase mental fatigue, and that's what we're trying to avoid, right? It's not easy, but it's simple. Protect transition time. So create a boundary between work and home. We talked about this a little bit last week. How many of you pause to take a deep breath in the driveway before going inside? Or have something that you're listening to, something that grounds you. Maybe it's a shower, maybe it's changing your clothes. These little things that don't take a lot of time, money, or effort, but they can have a profound impact on our well-being. Okay. Um, and then normalizing the rest. And this is going to start with you all. Okay. Every single one of you that are on here, all 37 of you that are with us today from Duncan Aviation, this starts with you. So talking about it with your team members, using your coworkers as accountability partners, that is powerful, right? You spend so much time at work. Have work be a place that is supportive of your well-being. Okay. That is what we are working towards. And I'm so proud that all of you showed up today. Okay. We're going to finish with a quick little reset together. So I invite you to settle in for one more minute, drop your shoulders, relax your face. I invite you to sit comfortably, to unclench your jaw, to drop your shoulders down. We're going to take another deep breath together. So full inhale, fill your lungs with as much air as you possibly can, take in a little more air. And then slowly and fully release, exhale. Notice in your body where you might be holding a little bit of tension or tightness. Give yourself permission to relax there. If you can continue to breathe for a few more minutes where you are, I encourage you to do so. I applaud you all for showing up today. I want to thank you for taking the time. Hopefully, there's something that you will take home with you or continue to reflect on and talk about after today's session. I look forward to seeing you all next week. If you're open to it, again in the chat prompt, I would love for you to tell me one small thing that you can do this week to boost your energy, to protect your well-being. This is where we start. Okay, we are here in this together. You have Kristen as a resource. You have others within Duncan as a resource, and I'm here now as a resource. So here we go. What's one thing you can do this week to protect your well-being? Type it in the chat box. 5-minute pause outside. I love it. Even a 1-minute pause outside. That's great. That's so good. Take a walk. Awesome. Thank you. What are we going to do this week to protect our well-being? Let's hear it. One thing at a time. Wonderful. Make a list. Cross it off. Set yourself up for success too, right? Look through some happy photos. Beautiful. I love to do that. Stepping outside. Awesome. Check out for a minute or two. Yep. So hopefully that checkout means a breath, right? So you're checking in with yourself. That's perfect. All right. Thank you all so much.
Thanks, guys, for joining. The first session is on our YouTube page, so if you want to check out the first session, if you missed it, you can find that on the Duncan Aviation Wellness Team YouTube channel. Otherwise, we hope to see you next week, same day, same time. Thanks, guys.